Right guys, back to the darts. I do want two troubles and a visit today. After this I think I'm going to watch some of the traitors. The new traitors come out. Now I haven't got to watch it yet. And I need to. So yeah, that is where my intentions lie. But I always wear two blacks and blue. One black and two blues. I thought they were all blue. Must have been colourblind. My last few darts. I'm going to quickly put this up so really icy today. I actually chose not to drive today for my gym session. It's the first time I've not driven about 10 days on. But I am happy with how confident I would drive considering my past September, I think. It's good. But yeah, icy conditions. Just didn't fancy it because we're on a hilly street as well. So I don't think it would be too bad, but better on the side of caution. Yeah, fancy it. A bit left in my general forms. I like what's it called? There's this young player, Mitch Flory, whatever his name is. His throw looks really flowy. I'm impressed by it. If only I flow in my throw. I think I'm getting a little bit better. Just off the first few darts. I think I could be a half decent darts player. Unlucky, mate. Yeah. 85, not bad. I'm fancying it today. Played 3 days in a row now, this being the third. When you start developing a bit of consistency, especially in swing arms, I do fancy to treble 20 to visit, I do fancy it. Fancied it then, actually. I hit the treble 20. Sometimes they slap out like that. So, references. Need to get a haircut. I'm not letting myself get too stressed out either. I think that's what's helping as well. I think the best thing you can do to us is focus without stress. So it's just this focus and this calmness and stillness. That's what you want. Not overcomplication and frustration. This calmness and stillness. Okay, step 3 that one. And tuck that one nice and keep your arm path stable. Ready for lunch jump as well? Okay, 2, a bit higher. Bit more left. 2 left. That's because the reference points my shoulder a bit off. Let it come a bit wide. That's good dart. Sort of, yeah, I've got little cues and little things that seem to help. A little bit of pronunciation on the wrist. I used to say that back in the day as well. I used to play personal. Pronouncing the wrist a bit does help sometimes. You've got to have it set up. You might help angle. Sometimes I don't truly get through. But it's just never go too overboard with anything. just acknowledge it and try and implement it again. Because darts is very precise, so if you start doing things that aren't working for you, you can start overcomplicating it and see that last dart. I liked it, to be honest. I thought I had a chance. I think the release point was a bit higher. When I threw those 2 Trouble 20s in visit that weren't on camera, my release point was quite high. I was quite like that. And I see a few players kind of, if they go with a softer approach, they kind of have it quite high, like that, towards their nose, towards their chin, sort of like that. And I felt a similar sort of thing. Not quite well. A bit too high. Let's get another treble 12, double 12. Actually, bought it right. But it's a very flowy and soft throw if you're going that high elbow approach. You know what I mean? Give it a little bit. No, you got to commit to it. Sits hard. Maybe I've not really got the distance for it. I mean, I'm standing very far back, I think. Maybe they do throw it real soft. This is definitely at least 7.5 foot where I'm standing. I think it's probably a bit more. Inside after that. Not too far. It's not unbearable playing darts now though. I do actually think there's a little bit there. And I'm hoping you feel the same way watching. Feels that way playing. Okay. Didn't really stick to the same throw there. That's about. Yeah, those two are good. Actually, it tugged the fuck out first one. Happens from time to time, and it's fair. Sort of tried going side on. I prefer small throw and just getting the angles right. Personally. Right. Yeah, those are better throws. Yeah, make sure you get yourself set before you throw, because when you do, you end up actually getting it quite accurate. Just set yourself in. Kind of knew that was a bit too low. It's quite hard with lower trebles now. It's that little bit of adrenaline that just kicks in, you know what I mean? That little bit, when that little bit of adrenaline just injects, it's quite hard to pull back from that. Too low. Nah, a bit low again. Let's go back up, trebles. We're gonna keep switching around. Let's try double 20s. Not really gripping the dart properly. I think we could triple double. Oh, double 20. That's right, keep it straight. Let's get the darts done. No, the things I'm trying to aim it too high. I'm not gonna lie, the doubles up here, it is gonna take a bit of time to figure out how hard, because I don't really know actually. I haven't practiced these. Just bear with. Oh, that was a bit close. Okay. A bit softer than I'm doing it. I'm gonna go back to trebles, just hitting the board again. Because obviously that's probably a bit dry watching that. Sort of angle myself left because of that, but really that wasn't the right approach because left is going to go left. It's all minimal increments when you change your body position. So you're pushing them through that. Remember, force. When it comes to applying force to the dart, like, it doesn't take much to fuck it, basically. It's got to be quite flowy. So the more, any sort of injection of force or direction is going to be quite significant when you're trying to be precise. So just try and think of that. Yeah, let's lock in again. One sec. I need to find my groove here. Don't be thinking about too many things where I start going on a bit of a negative tangent. Let's just stick to my nice. Little bit lower. Not a bad line on these. Almost a straight 60. One of them was a little bit straight. Not a bad line. Just the height, the power. Okay, didn't set my arm straight there. Okay, so I felt a bit of shelfage there. Shelving the dart is also an important thing. So you're sort of drawing it back. I might bring a bit of internal. I haven't been doing it as much. But remember, it's more like that. It's easy. It is easy to throw it too hard. It is easy. It's all about feel. I think you can feel it out. I think you know. You've got to trust yourself. You can't second guess very much. A little bit of lacking speed sometimes, the shoulder going a little bit astray. I don't hit the 1 treble 20. I feel like I've asked me a bit 7, wouldn't it? Hit a treble 19 as well. Usually takes a moment to get going. Ooh, I've been closer in general though. Like maybe the only major trebles I've hit is like a couple or a few, but like the actual general dart standards and the like proximities has been significantly better. Like look at that for example. Like those two, neither of them were treble 20s, but like so I haven't got another treble 20 added. However, the proximity, you know what I mean? It's way better. Oh, I don't want to like force it through. It's got to have. The hard things for these upper trebles is building a consistent flow whilst producing the necessary speed or the power to get it there. You stiffen up a bit. It is hard. It's not easy because all these little movements matter, and it is quite far upward. So in terms of being precise, when you've also got to throw quite far, but it's not really far. It's just about generating the right speed. I think I'm probably stood too far back. I always think this, but I'd rather stand too far back than too far forward on accident. Now, I need to build my flow again. I'm going to have to do this. I'm starting to sweat a little bit. I just need to build my flow again. think the most important thing to remind yourself, I always start to dabble into this sort of spiral a little bit. I need to pull myself out. Don't get desperate for the treble 20s because they won't come. If you try getting desperate, they won't come. I can promise you that. When you threw your 2 treble 20s a visit, you just were in flow state. You almost didn't care. You obviously cared. You threw darts normally, but it was the lack of pressure and mental application stress. You are just throwing darts. Remember that. You add all these other elements in too much, you won't get anything. And the darts going astray now because you're a little bit fatigued. Don't get me wrong, but mostly mental fatigue. Just keep it sweet. It's easy to tug. You need to snap out of it. Because the more time you're throwing, because you're throwing, you start getting into too much of a rhythm where you're just throwing darts. It's not just throwing, you're throwing with intent. Like you're actually trying to hit something, yeah. Just need to keep my priorities straight a little bit. Have the discipline to not rush. Have the discipline to not rush. Because the more you throw, the more you're like, oh, should we, come on. It's not like that. It's not. It's getting a lot harder. I'm feeling a bit of muscular fatigue a little bit. I don't like it. Got lock in. It's so easy to fuck it. Good dart. It's hard to comprehend. Like, it's really easy to throw good darts, but it's really hard at the same time. It's really hard because, especially when like there's a lot going in your mind as you're drawing it back and everything, every word, thought, or little self-sabotage, little nick, or little tug, or little movement of the dart will drastically affect the result. So it's easy, very easy, to throw a terrible one. But essentially, if you shut the fuck up and just throw and just concentrate and ensure straight releases flow into the right power, you should get much better results. So just think about the sort of trajectory and the straight release. It's two things in one. Trajectory, straight release. Great advice. We'll get another treble 20 because of that advice. It's all about keeping your priorities straight. Too many things you tell yourself and you start struggling. Keep it simple. You've got something to build. Trajectory is a great one. See if my trajectory is fine. I don't necessarily need a lot of power. But yeah, got better darts. I can sense that we can do something here. You didn't truly commit to the second double 20. You should have probably gone there. The thing is, once you throw one treble 20, you are genuinely significantly more likely to get another one than that, is it? Because in that moment, you've snapshotted in your brain what perfection looks like. And because you're throwing another one straight after, there's a much better chance you can replicate it. But you don't throw any. Especially if you throw a bad one like that. Trajectory is fucked there. That's the final piece of puzzle. I'm going to have to get it every now and then. A little bit more often as I induce a bit more mental and physical fatigue, I suppose. I'm prone, but I need to keep it sweet. But we should stop doing things like that. In fact, I'm taking that dart down and starting it. I don't want you to do that. I hate that. I despise that. Stop doing shit like that, please. Strategic side of things. I've obviously got to aim it above triple 20. But you've also got to start getting let's be nice with everything. Let's get everything fundamentally sound. That's the way I held that. Led to a mad elbow release. Maybe I do need to turn just to ensure that my elbow don't have no support. Lazy on that one, very. Do you genuinely not think that you can watch over 20 straight? Come on, you're better than this. You can do this. Discipline. Have the discipline, have the discipline to throw a dart that you genuinely think is going to be perfect. Because you can throw better than this, but because I know I'm going to throw so many darts, I know the mental fatigue that's going to induce from always trying to throw perfect for all these minutes, every dart being perfect. That's fucking hard, but you've got to go there. I've got to go there. That's why when I tend to throw good darts is when it's the first darts after a break, or you know what I mean. But when I've already thrown darts that day and then I have a break and then I come back, so I've got the warmed upness, but then I've also not got the mental fatigue. That's when I tend to throw good visits. Because you've got the best combination. Oh man. I think we need a big reset here. We just need to reset for a moment. Just reset. You need, before you release that dart, you need to get your elbows stacked, have the trajectory at a point where you're confident it can hit the treble 20. Really straight. You have to do it. Do not tug. Be disciplined. that sweet spot. I want to feel that dopamine just sort of course through my system as I know perfection happens. I don't want shit darts. There's no satisfaction there. Too high. See that little injection? It's well gone. It is very hard to get 180 because you've got to let yourself simmer. Got a weak on it now. Not too bad. Oh, good cue, mate. Try and hit that dart. I like that. Try and hit a dart. That's about the treble 20. That's the best advice I can give. Stop tugging the fuck out of it. And the worst thing you can do is when you give yourself a cue like that, don't just rush and think it's magic. Like, yeah, just throw it. Be quick. Come on. I've got this cue. Now be calm. Because it's going to take up position. You just have better fine line control. But you need tension as well. Control that tension. It's about balancing. So I'm just trying to practice fine motor control there and add no tension. So you can get it straight, but there's no tension to get up forward. Careful how you release. Remember, your elbow doesn't want to get up. Practice the wrist releases, yeah. I think that's another important thing. The wrist releases. The elbow doesn't tug. Whenever you try and pull the dart through the elbow, it will always go. Throw it properly. Wrist releases, but you've got to get high enough. It's not just spitting in on the wrist, I suppose, that, but it's the front and the forearm and the wrist, I think. That's my thoughts. I need the toilet quick, guys. I'm gonna come back in just 1 second. Alright, guys, back to Dartinios. Alright, hopefully. Very nice and straight. Just for you. You know. I know you know. Put your hands with me. I know that you know, bud. And we can do this. 10% battery. Fuck! A treble 20 and a treble 5. That's pretty good. Unlucky, but feel pretty good at the old dance though. Oh, another treble 20. Well, I'll start a little bit. Feel good darts, man. I feel like it's come. We can fight 2 trebles in a visit. In fact, in the near future, I think we're far away from it. had this like tension in my muscles. It was weird. It's built up an accidental lot of tension. I just spat it out. So I just reset. Tugging it from this. Keep it composed. You knew you were going to tug the one, I think. I can just feel it when I can't resist the tug. When I'm a little bit. Whoa. I want to start getting a bit tense. I knew that was perfect. And I almost thought that was good too. That was good. 3 minutes. This is a good 3-minute start. Yeah, remember the first 3 minutes, yeah, you can make it short potentially. Treble 20 that unlucky but yeah, you know, isn't you? I think I know. It's precise, isn't it? Yeah, both. This one's perfect. Too high again. A little bit of management. Pinch point. I can tell it's cone 5 though, you know. I think get it straight, really, too straight. Understand it now. And a little twitch. It's all about stability and sort of just that little focus and flow. It's not an easy thing to achieve, is it? When you do try and add that bit extra, I have a very big tendency to bring it left. So when I give it that bit more, just try very hard, stay straight. I think that's the one thing, if I had the most important cue, is keep it centre. Keep it centre. Get power and stuff. Keep it centre. Good first start, didn't follow it up. That's going to be your best chances, the ones that you get there first. I was disappointed to not get a double treble there, if I'm being completely honest, because I got the perfect internal hinge. And one thing I said to myself was keep a centre. I kept the centre perfect. It was left of the thing as well. However, it's not an easy task. Hitting treble 20. Especially with the, you know, when you hit a treble 20, especially when you first start and you're thinking about money a little bit, it has that little bit of dig, doesn't it? Just that little bit of dig. And that bit of adrenaline. It's hard to very good again. But if you can just shush and flow, like I did that one time. They're all in trebles, adjacent to the treble 20. We're almost there. Consensus, to be fair. Almost. Shelving nicely with it. This is the best task by far. Quite. I think I can do this, I really do. Yeah, a little bit, I guess. Yeah. What's our main cue? Keep it straight, yeah. That's the most important thing. Give yourself a chance. It's not an easy task. But what about that? What about things like internal twist? To keep it shelved. Yeah, there's little cues, little things that can help you stabilise. It's hard to get it straight. It really is. If you think about your rotator cuff and your arm, you kind of don't want to get inside your delt, like between these points. See it? So I've got to do this like tiny twist to get my side delt to be activating it. Because I can't really just throw straight or rotate cuff, because that's the pinch point. That's all good. So I've kind of got to internally rotate a little bit. For me personally, you know what I mean? Discipline now. Not an easy task. Stood a bit far back, I did feel that a little bit. Come on, mate. I actually low-key back myself for this task. I'm feeling like there's something there. Genuinely. It's just got tapped. Almost. Shelved better that one. What was one thing he says? Right straight. The ultimate cue is make sure it's straight. Because if it's not straight, you haven't got a chance. If it goes sort of straight to 12s, 18s, whatever, you haven't got a chance. So the one thing, the most important cue, and it's honestly the only thing I'd really think about, I think hopefully everything is a bit more muscle memory. Just keep it straight. Imagine you're done coats. Think about the discipline he has with darts. He don't let things go to one side. I think I've got enough sort of muscle mass and stability in my rotator cuffs and things. I should be getting them straight. I can do this. Should be getting them straight. I really should. Can't wait to do this. It's not easy. Remember, directional change changes height. if we play start? What coin and stuff? Think about angles. Think about it all. What is going to get me? Takes so little to fuck up. Internal pinch. Certain amount of step. That works. Certain amount of step. Centuries. I forget you do. Get a bit weakened. A little bit of fatigue. Trying to stand a bit more upright as well. Sometimes you slouch a little bit. Stand upright, yeah? Stand upright. Not trying to lean into it. It's hard sometimes. It's a hard sport. It's a hard sport. It's easy. Very easy to go 40 minutes without getting a double treble visit. I'm just annoyed about I spend 40 minutes and I get no trebles. At least I've got some this time. And more importantly than anything, even if I've not got loads, plenty have been close. I've had plenty of close trebles and things like that. Like my overall darts have just been a lot better. A lot better. So I'm reasonably satisfied. But not satisfied. I think I'm going to call it there for that sesh. I might come back to it later tonight. But yeah, for now, that's where we're at. When we came back after having a toilet, I actually almost got the double treble visit there. So what I said about a lack of fatigue and having a little break can help. And that's how I did it off camera last time. I think that kind of proves it a bit how close I actually was to the double treble right then. But yeah, see you guys later. Hope you enjoyed the video.